Watch Jefferson climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Come
Welcome one, welcome all. I am joined by two awesome people here, and I have been drafting all summer long with Meg herself here as well. It's been a great time. We're so close to real football. Hell, tomorrow we get some real college football. I cannot wait for that. We have an amazing team here, and we also crushed it last night in the Run Pure Sports Discord. There was plenty of screenshots to go around. Just a great time overall, and I can't wait to dive into this slate here. It's a small 3-game slate. I got Kurt. I got Meg. Meg, I'll kick it to you first. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I kind of like these shorter preseason slates better. So that's why I was excited to jump on with you guys today on a 3-gamer. So yeah, ready to talk the 3 games through. Let's go.
Yeah, I know. We're sweating our best ball teams here, just hoping for no injuries. Fingers crossed. I know you're a big Lions person this year, so we don't want any injuries tonight. I think all the
I think the Lions starters are sitting, right?
Yes,
so,
yes.
Okay.
So at least we're good in that regard.
When I saw that, I was like, okay.
Kurt, how are you doing today? And do you have how many best ball teams have you done so far, by the way?
I think like 35.
Yeah. Who's your highest team, by the way?
Highest team? What do you mean?
Exposed team, I should say.
What team, like team stacks, are you highest on?
You know what? You guys can fuck off, okay? Don't worry about it.
All right.
Don't worry about it.
It might be the Saints. It might be the Saints.
Hey, they've got an easy schedule. Schedule.
I got a lot of Derek Carr.
They just naturally fall, like it just with the way the ADPs are and the way like I've most commonly been 7-9 range, and they just fall to me. Like Kamara falls to me, Michael Thomas falls to me, Johnson falls to me, and it's just like it just naturally happens. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
They got an easy schedule. I like it, Kurt.
Yeah, I mean that division, man. Maybe they kind of score some points. Who knows? I mean, they did click in the preseason game, so.
All right, well, cash those prop bets. Kurt to say fuck off inside 5 minutes of the show. It's cash right now. We got 3 awesome games tonight. So first game we have, it is Lions at the Panthers. Panthers clocking in at 4.5-point favorites. We have the Patriots against the Titans. The Titans are slight underdogs to the Patriots. So the Patriots are actually 2-point favorites, and they have the highest total on the slate by just a half point over the next game, which is Chargers with their horrible offensive line last week taking on the San Francisco 49ers. You would not believe the spread on a preseason game. It is -7.5. I mean, this could look a lot like yesterday's game with the Steelers and Falcons potentially if that offensive line for the Chargers plays just as bad as they did last week. We'll go ahead and move on to quarterbacks, though. I mean, it seems like today kind of clear cut, right? We get Malik Willis, Easton Stick. You got Will Levis in the playbook as well, Kurt. I'll kick it to you first since you did the playbook, Kurt. How's quarterback looking tonight?
Well, I mean, I feel like by now we'd have a lot of guys setting just with all the injuries seen, and we'd have a lot of condensed situations, but we really don't. Tennessee, we're going to keep hammering that. Probably going to be like a half of Malik Willis, a half of Will Levis. Then we got Chargers situation where I guess Max Dugan's never going to play, and we're just going to keep seeing Easton Stick. That's how I'm going to play it. I'm going to play at least Easton Stick for a half. And then Detroit is probably a 3-man. But I think Teddy Bridgewater gets a chunk of the reps here. So I'm going to have some exposure there. And then for the Patriots, if we get Mac Jones ruled out, could be some Bailey Zappi for a half, which I don't mind that. But mostly we're probably going to stick with the Tennessee guys and mostly Malik Willis.
I could be sold on some Zappi. Meg, what's your view on quarterback here? Oh, we got Will Levis is sitting. Oh,
I was just going to – that was what I was just going to say.
Oh, my God. Okay, don't talk about quarterback. Just plug in Willis and move on.
All right, Malik Willis day. Meg, talk me up on Malik Willis. Is there any reason that I should fade on this slate alone? You know what? I've been in the soccer slums for the last hour updating projections.
I literally just saw it minutes before we jumped on. So perfect. I think that the news stories broke just an hour or so ago. So this is like just new news about Levis sitting. So yeah. So I think that's kind of the fire up the Malik Willis and move on situation, really. I mean, you could make a case if we do think Stick's going to get more of the run, but God, it's hard to get away from Willis, right? I guess we'll have to wait Malik Willis. Yeah, it's hard to get away from that. We'll have to see how much, is there anybody else behind that would run the second half?
No, he got the whole game last time out, and he played absolutely awful for literally 3 quarters, it felt. And he still ended up as like a top 2 quarterback scorer. The only person that beat him last week was Sam Ellinger, who did it all in the 4th quarter. I mean, I'm looking at it. I mean, Easton Stick played the entire game last time, and it was because Brandon Staley said the flow of the game dictated that, Stick
that was so frustrating.
The flow of the game meant that my guy, Max Dugan, would not get a chance. So I don't anticipate the plan being Stick to get too much burn. He just had that situation last week. So I think you're right, Meg. Thank you for making sure that you kept us in check with Malik Willis over Willis.
Well, the chat's letting us know, and then I literally just heard it like just before I got on stream. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just it seems like a fire up Willis and move on, and then maybe get different elsewhere.
Yeah, I do want to bring up, because I do see Trey Lance showcase game, right? That would be fun. Are we going to expect, is it Darnold? Is it Purdy for a little bit?
Any news on that? Let's just
you know what can happen. The only thing that make Malik Willis not just a stone cold lock is if they come out and say Easton Stick's not going to play and Dugan gets the entire game. That's possible.
That's definitely possible. Yeah, I'm looking at. I just realized that Brandon Allen returned. So. Yeah, okay. So they would have 3 quarterbacks there to begin with. Could be a little bit of Darnold, and then just giving Allen the chance.
Are we still talking about quarterback, dog? Move on.
We are. We got to cover all our bases, Kurt. It's only been 7 minutes of showtime. We got to give the people what they want. Make sure everything has come through. We just had a Trey Lance question here, so sorry for answering it, Kurt. All right, so Kurt's cranky because he can't run the optimizer as well as he wants at the moment. Sometimes the changes take a little bit to get used to, but I like the changes. Hopefully I can get Kurt on board too.
Get off my lawn.
We're going to go ahead and move on to running back spot here. So obviously Julius Chestnut was a king for us last week. He really just came in, got 2 touchdowns. One of those was a receiving touchdown from Malik Willis too. That led to some really good days in the Discord. And then, we got Tyrion Davis-Price. I see you have him here on the playbook. Blackshear.
Stone cold lock.
Oh, Davis-Price is?
Yes.
Tell me why.
If Jerry McNichols sets again, they have Jordan Mason and TDP. That's it. And they obviously don't give a flying beep about Jordan Mason. So, and even if they do, still half the work going to go to TDP. He's still in play if McNichols plays, but if he's out, it's just an absolute stone cold lock.
Perfect. So you kind of see this as like an Eagles situation with hardly any bodies there. He's going to get a lot of work. And obviously Trey Sermon was the top scorer on the slate yesterday. I mean, because he had all the opportunity. It didn't even look like Kennedy Brooks got in too much until the 4th quarter. I mean, Kennedy Brooks got a couple spells. But yeah, do you see anything different here, Meg? Is it just Davis-Price and Chestnut as the clear top 2?
Yeah, those are the top 2. And then I know you mentioned in the playbook, we got to check out the Patriots situation, right?
I think Pierre Strong's going to come back. So that's
okay.
And then Zeke maybe they run out Zeke too. I think it's mostly to stay away now.
Okay. I was going to say, if not, then, obviously JJ Taylor and Kevin Harris is a consideration. But if you do feel like it's kind of, too many mouths to feed, then TDP and Chestnut. But I typically like to play 3 running backs on preseason, so I was looking for that third third answer.
Yeah, I think I will make the case for Raheem Blackshear. Obviously, a super talented running back. I think he can take it to the house whenever he gets the ball. He is their primary kick returner, I believe, in Carolina at the moment. So that's my only fear on him maybe not getting a ton of work in terms of we want to keep him healthy enough for the special teams, but he is very capable out of the backfield. He can catch passes, and he can make big plays. And we're looking for touchdown variance a little bit here. So he might not get as much work as some of these other guys, but he could easily get 3 catches, 30 yards, and a touchdown. All of a sudden, he's more than optimal. He's in the winner. So Blackshear, I would definitely include. I mean, Spencer Brown had so much work last week. Is that worth noting, Kurt? Is Spencer Brown potentially in your player pool tonight?
So here's what I'm going to do. You lock in Davis-Price, you probably just lock in Chestnut. They love that guy, and he's a stud. What a preseason hero. And then for that third spot, you go, say for the flex spot, you go heavy Blackshear, but then you kind of rotate in Spencer Brown, and then you rotate in a little bit of Mason, and then my favorite, who is in a crowded backfield, but I think he gets a majority of the work again, Craig Reynolds. That's how I would do it. You rotate those kind of flex with a heavy lean on Blackshear.
Yeah, and I also want to mention the Chargers situation too. I mean, is it going to be Kelly, Spiller, and Dotson, right? Is it just 3-man backfield?
No, I'm pretty sure they got more. Remember last week they added someone else.
Did it? Perfect.
Yeah, they got rid of Roundtree and they added Sampkin, the guy that played for Dallas last year.
Okay. So
And they gave him I think 5 snaps, but that could be more because he just got signed up the street, so he could have more.
Yeah, someone who.
Oh, no, he didn't play. He didn't play in week 2, which means they're going to want to see him here. And then I mentioned this the playbook. The fullback Xander Horvath from Purdue, they're putting him in pass sets. So a lot of these guys are not getting third down like passing situations. They're putting Horvath to block and then run some routes. So let's see. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I project 6 guys to get backfield snaps for them today.
6, yeah, that's definitely a lot. And that's the thing with Dotson with me is that I don't know. I didn't play him a ton last week. I got lucky a little bit, and I do want to mention the fact he played a lot last week. They might want to see what they have. I mean, he could definitely be a guy they cut and try and bring back in the practice squad too. I mean, they might only keep 3 running backs in their team, so I could definitely see Dotson getting a lot more burn today. And like I said, it's up to touchdown variance and big plays. Well, he showed that he's more than capable of both in week 1 of the preseason. So, Meg, anything to add on the Chargers backfield or any backfield we haven't touched on?
No, not in the Chargers backfield. I was going to ask Kurt, what is the depth on the Tennessee backfield? Because they have Patrick too, right?
Yeah, so it's not as thin as what you think. It's just Chestnut just always is the alpha. Even
okay. But how many guys are they going to run?
Let me Patrick is definitely something. They don't play Jonathan Ward. I played him last week. I'm done. I'm not doing it again. He's back there, but just I don't know. Now he's not even practicing, so I'm good on him. Yeah, it's going to be probably just Patrick and Chestnut once Tajay Spears leaves the game. And based off these injuries I've seen, I just don't see why they need to see Spears after what he did last week. They're going to play him. I really don't think they should, man. I don't want to see that injury.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You don't want to play your starting running back too much, your future starting running back. I mean, Tajay Spears, once Derrick Henry gets hurt, obviously, Meg, you know that. I'm all over the Tajay Spears bandwagon.
Yeah, exactly. You want to keep him healthy. Again, this weekend's all about keeping our guys healthy, put them on bubble wrap. So hopefully Spears doesn't get much action. But yeah, I mean, Patrick was a kind of XFL hero for Bruce and people in the XFL street. So I don't know if he would get more run in the second half when they might be. I don't know. That would be maybe odd to do a lineup with Willis, Chestnuts, Patrick, but is that viable?
I don't hate it. Fine. Yeah, I don't hate it. People ran so many double running back yesterday with the Falcons, and I ran double running back in the higher stakes contest. Not too high stakes or anything, but the 2-2-2, and a lot of people did the exact same thing. I mean, you're just locking up volume at that point, which is never a terrible idea in preseason. So, yeah, definitely don't hate that. I do want to mention the Patriots backfield. Old Bill definitely loves to run guys out. J.J. Taylor is very capable in the pass game and stuff. I mean, I've been wanting to play J.J. Taylor, and I think he could be effective tonight. Obviously, there's quite a few bodies there. I mean, who knows?
I mean, I played him last week. It was just him and Harris. The entire backfield, him and Harris, does nothing. This week, Pierre Strong comes back. Watch, he'll go for 3 touchdowns and he'll just shove it right up Kurt's ass.
Kurt was super upset about Anthony McFarland scoring a touchdown yesterday. So you heard it here first.
Worst play of the year, bro. Yeah,
so, you heard it here first. If J.J. Taylor is today's Anthony McFarland Jr., so definitely get J.J. Taylor in those teams just to tilt Kurt even more. Let's talk about wide receiver. All right, so wide receiver was super gross yesterday. It was Deion Kane or bust. There was a guy for the Falcons who I don't think had a single piece of ownership in the 2-2-2. I don't know if he had ownership in the $15 or $10, but it was definitely something that was shocking. And I see that you have Kayshon Boutte from LSU topping the list. My guy Ronnie Bell, who played amazing in that fourth quarter for the 49ers last week, propelled some of us to the top of the leaderboard. That was quite fun. And then, even Malik Cunningham's here on the list. Is he going to play some quarterback tonight, Kurt, at the wide receiver position?
No, but they are so freaking thin at wide receiver now because Trey Nixon got hurt, which cost me a little bit of money last week. That they got 5 guys, and he got 5 targets last week. And the added bonus, if Mac Jones sits, maybe. I mean, I'm playing him for that receiver role, but maybe we do see the final drive, or maybe we do see a gadget play or something. They don't give a shit about showing a gadget play on Malik Cunningham or just a double pass. It's Malik Cunningham. Why not? And it's not like you're unveiling a gem. It's a freaking double pass. Everyone's seen it. But yeah, I just think I like it. I like the targets he saw last week. I know he's going to play a lot again. Fire up Malik Cunningham.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting selling point there. And I think that is Demario Douglas like he didn't play in week 1?
They're
right?
all in play. They're all in play. So Demario Douglas, Cunningham, Butte, probably the 3 favorites. Riley Webb is up there. I'm missing one, but those 4 are the guys I would really focus on.
So do you think Demario Douglas plays after 3 snaps last week, DNP in week 1? That's a big deal. I mean, it is.
If he doesn't, they only got like 4 bodies. Like he has to this week. If there's ever a week, like he has to this week with the Nixon injury.
All right. We'll see.
Maybe not, but I will say this, and he had like 2 targets in the 2 snaps. I'm pretty sure.
All right, that's fair enough. Meg, I think it's clear the Patriots receivers have the thinnest room. We also have other options in Ronnie Bell and stuff. Go ahead and break down. Do you share the same cautions that I have with Demario Douglas, and then touch upon like Ronnie Bell, Shee Smith too, and even Antoine Green?
Yeah, I like the Carolina receiving room too, because you have Wims, who's been a preseason hero in the past, Shee Smith. So I like those 2. I like Kurt's call on Ronnie Bell. And then I like, just like he said, focusing on the Patriots receiver room because it's so thin. So I'd say those 3, the Carolina 2 guys, Ronnie Bell, and the Pats receiving room are kind of my focus. Because again, I'm just trying to fill 3 spots probably at the receiver position. So, so Kurt, how would you rank the New England receivers, since there's only like 5 of them, right?
Butte, he had an incredible week in practice.
Okay.
Incredible. So Butte, Cunningham, Webb,
okay,
and probably Douglas.
Okay.
Because
then I'll probably do at least 1, if not 2, of the Pats guys, and then probably Ronnie Bell and or Wims or Shee Smith.
I think that's a good idea. Making sure that you're ruling in these wide receivers in your teams, because yesterday I think we had a little bit more variety. It felt like the Steelers were going to play a half. Then we got word that they were getting 3 series about 30 minutes before lock happened. So I was able to cut them down. But yesterday, I mean, I just had a minimum 1 Eagles wide receiver in all my teams. And that one becoming Deion Kane really helped my team's bottom line and also helped my upside a little bit. So I don't hate that idea at all. So definitely a min of 1 wide receivers for me from New England with the limited amount of bodies that they have. I think 2's a little too aggressive because I really like the value. I really like the plays like Ronnie Bell, who that's back-to-back good weeks, right? And then we have a short Carolina room too. So
right.
There's so many good wide receiver plays. So many good wide receiver plays.
So let's transfer the conversation here. I also want to mention Hightower. I know that we kind of mentioned him a little bit. How many targets last week did he get? It was
it felt like 100.
And we used Bruce's play of the day, and obviously Hightower had opportunities. I mean, he just didn't make the plays. He was wide open in the end zone on the Parham drop. I do want to mention that Hightower could have easily had a touchdown if Easton Stick threw it to him instead of Parham. But it's just me being salty. But I do want to mention that. Do you think playing a wide receiver in the flex is viable in this slate?
I just think 3 is enough. I mean, we get 3 shots at it. I just think you pick the correct 3 because there's a lot of good plays today, but it's still preseason, and a good chunk of these guys are still going to fall flat on their face because mostly because the quarterbacks can't get them the ball and the quarterback sucks. They are good plays, but their quarterbacks might not be able to give them the ball. So that's why I think 3 is enough. At running back, you're depending on your offensive line, but they can break a couple tackles and get you yards. They can get you catches, shit like that. Short dump off catches, which aren't hard to make for these quarterbacks. So that's the only caution I have is just the quarterback play is what you only need 3. Just pick the best 3, pick the 3 that go nut, and then be fine from there. But I don't know. Running back in the flex still. You just gotta.
All right, let's go to GRS 50's question here, Meg. I'm going to throw it to you. So last week, it wasn't stacking with Willis being the move, right? It wasn't the move to stack Willis with wide receiver. Obviously, we play Willis for his ability with his legs, and also he threw a touchdown pass that ended up being Chestnut. Do we need to stack Willis with a wide receiver? I know the answer is no, but if you did have to choose one to pair with Willis, who's your top Tennessee wide receiver?
I didn't know. I was struggling on that, and I was going to ask Kurt and say, I know he's mentioned Kinsey in the chat. I was going to say, isn't their wide receiver room one of the biggest on the slate? So, I mean, to me, if we only were picking 3, I'd rather just, again, to your point and why the answer is no, target the volume of the small wide receiver rooms and not worry about
everyone. Look, I agree. There's a lot of better wide receiver rooms, but this little guy Kinsey, I mean, he's putting together a pretty good freaking preseason. This little white guy in the slot, Kyle Phillips is shaking in his boots because Kenzie's coming for him, man. Like, let me read up his past 2 weeks. And people are going to sleep on this and probably still not play him. And it's funny because you compare him with Willis so easily. Last week, he had 4 targets, caught all 4 for 37 yards. Let's go back to week 1. This is a little white guy. And I'm guessing he got bumped up because Phillips didn't play last week. But still, he'll definitely get third and fourth quarter run when Willis was playing his best. Week 1, 6 targets, 4 catches, 40 yards. I mean, what's not to like about that? So, yeah, if I'm stacking Willis, I'll do it with Kenzie.
I like it. Yeah, just to mention, we're all expecting Willis to be the top scoring quarterback on this slate. I mean, it's going to be hard too when you play a whole game and he ran the ball really effectively last week. I think he had 95 yards rushing, and I think that might have been before the kneel downs too. So yeah, we're definitely expecting to play Willis in full tonight. Let's move on to tight end. There's a certain hero here for the 49ers who I'm sure you're going to go back to, Kurt, and that is Cameron Latou. Is there anyone else besides Latou? And also sell me on it.
I'm going right back to Cameron Latou. Just ran a lot of routes, play a lot of snaps. I don't think I get a nut performance like I did last time, but I'll take like the 5 or 6, wherever he can give me. And I like the Lions pass catching tight ends, James Mitchell, Brock Wright. I like the Lions receivers too. I think I'm at least one of those guys. Drummond, Benson, my favorite, Chase Cota, but I can run it back with one of the tight ends as well. And then Matt Sokol's been playing a lot, but really just those right now, unless we get more news. You can play the Carolina game, like Tommy Tremble and all that bullshit, but I'm just so sick of them. They're bozos.
All right, we don't slander Notre Dame legend Tommy Tremble here. All right, we don't, not with Notre Dame minus 20.5 in our bet slips currently. So
who beat Notre Dame last year in at Jesus' house?
Ohio State.
No, Marshall did, baby. Go her.
Ew.
You like that, Rubio? You freaking like that? We are.
All right, so speaking of subpar college programs, let's move on to talking about I guess I can't call Alabama terrible, but is Latou your top guy, Meg? Is he your top tight end this week?
Yeah, I think I'm rolling with Kurt. I like Latou, and I like his call on Sokol. You could go to the Detroit tight ends. I mean, there is it's both James. It's why I love it's the 2 guys of why I love Sam Laporta so much, because I knew he was gonna whoop Mitchell and Brock Wright's ass to get tight end 1. So, but I mean, if they're splitting time, I guess they're in play too. So, but I'd say, I'd lean Latou or Sokol.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and blare the warning signs. Even though I really like Cameron Latou with you, I do want to throw this out there. Didn't run like a ton of snaps, like or a ton of routes, right? Like, he's fadeable, right? He's not like a clear lock. I think, the tight end position in general with preseason is, you don't have to play the chalk. I mean, we saw it, like I keep saying, when Bruce won 50K, he won it with an unknown tight end called Nick Muse. And we don't all want to be, we can definitely have Latou as our top person, but we definitely want these options. So having a guy like Tremble in the wings, Mitchell, Brock Wright, it could definitely be intriguing. So I'm definitely going to, in my case, I'm definitely going to kind of branch out a little bit more at tight end because, there's a very likely scenario that Latou gets just 3 fantasy points on 2 catches or something. So definitely don't be afraid to mix it up at tight end if you guys are doing multiple teams. I think Latou is all 3 of our top tight end, but I do want to stress the importance of, making sure that you're kind of that portfolio, Meg, making sure you have a full tight end, a portfolio of tight ends. So
exactly.
I think that
I hear you. I agree.
You led the team in snaps and routes last week. What do you mean?
But it's only like 15, 20 routes at most, right?
No, everything you said I agree with. As far as he could easily get he could go catchless. He could get 3 targets, no catches. So everything you say, I would agree with. But I mean, as far as tight ends goes,
but that's most tight ends on the slate.
Easily, I agree with everything you just said. I just want to say that he was still pretty involved.
Well, I thought Freiermuth was be really good yesterday, right? When I thought that the Steelers were getting a ton of work, I thought they'd get more work than 2 series. Yeah. And when I found out they got 3 series, I was able to take him away. But he was still in my core, and he was 50% in a lot of these contests and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, and Will Mallory, who we gushed over on the show, was very good at the University of Miami. He got about 6.1 or 6.3. He had 2 catches.
Back 25-yard catches, man. Back to
back, and then didn't do anything. It shows the importance of the tight end position. I know that we can just say, screw it, it's tight end, right? But no, I mean, that's 6 points matter. If you didn't have Mallory, or if you had Mallory over Freiermuth, like those matter. And these points, these players, definitely feel free to get a little different at tight end. Defenses tonight, I stressed about how bad the Chargers offensive line looked last week for Easton Stick, and the 49ers are 7.5-point favorites. Meg, I'm going to dish it to you first. Is there a reason why I shouldn't go to the 49ers defense tonight?
That you make a good point, because I think, you pick the right defense on these short slates. That's a big key. That was a big key last night for the Steelers defense. So I definitely like the 49ers defense, but boy, the Carolina, and I know these starting offensive lines in both the Chargers and the Panthers offensive lines aren't projected to be this bad as far as their first string and stuff, but boy, Carolina's offensive line has had issues this preseason as well. So that makes me a little interested in the Lions as another potential option. So I would say Lions or 49ers target the offensive lines that have been struggling.
I like it. And code NFL 20% off for life. Make sure that you guys are able to get into our Discord, read the playbook, and we'll also have the free projections up later tonight. Kurt, who's your top defense? And do you have a second favorite defense if it's the 49ers?
Yeah, so it's definitely going to have to be just the Panthers. Give me the other favorite on the team. I mean, it's been working. I'm going to have probably a little bit of exposure to both, all four. But, yeah, give me the second favorite. It's been working the past, two slates. So.
Well, I mean, we had a lot of the Steelers defense. I know both of us did a lot of it yesterday. It's hard to get away from a team, especially with the Falcons, how bad they looked against the Bengals with that offensive line. I carried it over into the next week, and that's why I ended up having, being so overweight in the Steelers. I want to attack bad offensive lines. They're not playing these starters, right? They're not playing these starters at all. And, well, let's attack these bad offensive lines, especially with, the 49ers playing their guys even just a little bit. Could be huge too. And we saw how dominant the Steelers looked all day yesterday. So, yeah, I think it's the 49ers the top team. We'll see when Bruce does the projections and stuff. It does a good job at getting the varies a little bit. It's not like I'm going to have 100% 49ers, but could definitely see myself having 45, 50%. And I could see that, being the case tonight. Not too much longer in the show left now. I do want to mention that we have our bets up for the entire weekend for college football too. We have some bets trickling in and a lot more tomorrow. The free play of the day that I will give out, I already gave it out once, but we have a free play. It's Notre Dame minus 20.5 against Navy, if anyone is interested in that. Let's go ahead and get into our plays of the day. Meg, I'll kick it to you first. I hope you steal Kurt's play of the day. It would just make my heart warm. But who is your play of the day?
I assume don't go chalky, correct?
Correct. We don't do chalk here.
We don't do chalk. I'm just making sure.
We say the chalk in Discord.
Actually, I did watch the show. I can't remember if it was yesterday or last week that Kurt yelled at. Did you yell at Snyder?
Yeah, it was. Didn't Snyder's play of the day became Deion Kane, didn't it? I think.
No, it became Josh Downs, and he dropped. He dropped like a 25-yard pass.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Okay, Bruce's play of the day was Deion Kane.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go. I mean, I don't know. Then I'm gonna go receiver because again, I'm gonna be chalky with my running back situation. I'm gonna be chalky with my quarterback situation, and I'm gonna go a receiver. I'm gonna pick one of the New England receivers. Give me Webb from New England. I'm gonna be mixing at least one or two of those guys in. Probably min one of New England, so I'll go Webb for New England.
All right, so Rally Webb as the play of the day for Meg. Kurt, who is your play of the day?
I'm gonna get dusty here. Let me check this. Let me check his targets from last week. It's as high as I think. Give me Trinity Benson from Detroit.
Oh.
1%er, baby.
I like it.
All right, I like it. Mine's Malik Willis. All right, everyone have a great rest of the day. All right. So, my play of the day, it is the one, the only, a guy I'll be overweight on tonight, Raheem Blackshear. He did the job for me last year. I think I'll do it again. Love the talent, love the ability. And so, yeah, we got Rally Webb, we got Trinity Benson, and then we also have Raheem Blackshear, our three non-chalky play of the days. Everyone have a great rest of y'all's day, and good luck tonight. Code NFL 20% off for